Hey man, so welcome to one of them ones. We are doing a special on forgiveness. This is my beautiful and lovely sister, the president, Miss Consuela Johnson. So, sis, we're missing our brother Steve, so we want to also highlight him. And I want to thank you for your courage to come on and do this in a public platform. So, we're talking about forgiveness. The title is "Forgiveness Hurts." We have a group chat, and I want to be quiet now. I want to give you a little time to introduce yourself and what brought you here to do the forgiveness special.
Okay. Well, hello. My name is Consuela Johnson. I am Greg's older sister. How many of us is Greg's? There are like 11, 12 of us?
I believe there's 12, yeah.
There's 12 of us. So I believe I'm
12.
number two. I'm the oldest girl, so I'm number
Number
two.
two.
Um, I currently
No,
reside in
you
California.
number one.
No, Randall's older than me.
Randall, okay, Randall is the oldest. I just know I got
Yeah.
bumped to three. So
We have a very unique family dynamic. Our biological father, there's 12 of us. Many of us do not have the same mother. I think the last, what, four or five, they have the same mom. And
yeah.
we're all spread out throughout Oklahoma, Texas. I'm in California, and I have a family of, I have a son and a daughter. I'm married. Been living in California since I was 16 with my grandparents. But always knew my father, always knew that family, but not really a close relationship with the family. But I always knew who my dad was and who my cousins and uncles and so forth. Some of our siblings we've never met. So over the summer, many of us got together and started a group chat, and a lot has come to surface. And we're all in different stages of our lives. And Greg offered one of us to come on and talk about forgiveness. It looks very different for many different people. And so this is a perfect platform to start that and talk about forgiveness and how that looks when it comes to maybe our father, or not even just our father, but just in our lives in general.
Thank you, sis.
Mhm.
Yeah, so very unique family dynamic and the group chat. So the group chat, speaking on forgiveness. So we do want to be sensitive to our other family members or anybody who is watching who is struggling with forgiveness. We've come to realize there are many stages in it. And so with that being said, one thing that I had to learn, right, is knowing that forgiveness and saying some things sound good that we say in society or in church or
Mhm.
in social groups or self-help books, but they can also be damaging. So I would like to, start off with that question. What is, in your experience, has been said that has been something that has been known to be good, but actually has hurt people when it comes to the terms of forgiveness?
I think when we tell people you have to forgive and let go, that's easier said than done. Because you don't know what that person has gone through. You don't know the backstory. You don't know the valleys, they walk through and the hurt that has been that has been done unto them. And forgiveness is very personal. It is an internal process and it looks different from everyone. So when you say, oh, you just got to forgive and just let go, that's easier said than done. It can be dismissive, but I know it comes from a good place, but it can't come off dismissive.
Yeah, I would say like in the church aspect, right? We often will just go and do it. We do little drive-bys like, oh, I'll be praying for you, or oh,
Mhm.
but sometimes you need that action and it needs to be seen. So I would say the same thing, like to just go around and just apply forgiveness like it's a blanket, one size fits all is dismissive. And so also not taking the time to hear the backstory and before you even comment on the forgiveness is not good. And I would suggest that if you go and you seek the information and show true, genuine empathy, really step in a person's shoes and see how they could struggle with forgiving, and come from that place. That may cause you to not pause and not even say anything. It may cause you to just listen more and be there more. But I do believe forgiveness has to be met. But to even comment on it, you should view it in different. You should really, really step into another person's shoes and
Mhm.
really listen to them and see where they're coming from before even commenting on it. That will
Yeah.
help a long ways.
And it looks different to different people because I can forgive and, we can move on with our lives, or I can forgive you. And there's some relationships in my life where I forgive you, but I keep you at a distance.
Yeah.
Because, God says to be faithful, not foolish. So why would I keep, especially when the actions keep on happening over and over again, why would I keep on subjecting myself to your
Yeah.
wrath, to your behavior? Whereas, like, I forgive you, but I'm good over here. I'm gonna keep a distance. I'm gonna love you from a distance. And there's nothing wrong with that. And also forgiveness looks different for different people. And who are we to judge um how I forgive and my relationship with a person versus how you forgive in your relationship with a person?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, before we go to the next question, would you mind opening up and sharing about where your personal aspect is on forgiveness, and where you've had to apply it on a very, what's the hardest area in your life that you've overcome, but where was the
Mhm.
hardest area for you to apply forgiveness?
Forgiveness is constantly ongoing. There are some areas in my
Mhm.
life I need to work on. But where I have to apply forgiveness, where I'm a very out of sight, out of mind type of person. I kind of move on quickly from situations. I don't let things, sit and fester because it literally emotionally, physically takes a toll on you and mentally. So in that aspect, I'm kind of unique. I kind of just move on and just, okay, it happened, whatever. I'm done. I just, move on about my day. But I remember like a big like aha moment. There's been several moments, but the one I remember, I think I was in my late 20s, maybe 30s. And our father has been in and out of jail all our lives. And or it's like very inconsistent relationships. And
Mhm.
it's maybe that longing of like, why are you not here? Why are you not contacting us? Why you are not involved in our lives? And I think I just had like this aha moment. It could be God. Maybe, it was God that said, how can I expect someone to give me something that they don't know how to give? And
Yeah.
either
Hey, that sound
I
like him. That sound like him.
either I accept it for what it is, or I keep on holding on to this. And when I kind of like let go and it's like, you know what? It is what it is. Like he can't give me something that he doesn't know how to give. That's unfair, for me to ask something of him that he's, doesn't know how to give.
Mhm.
So where I go with my relationship with him is totally up to me. Do I continue to have a relationship with him, or do I go on about life and just say forget it and just keep it on the back burner and just don't ever talk to him again? And so my choice was to forgive him for the past. Um, and to just move forward with a relationship with him. It's not your stereotypical parent relationship because our dad is not your he's
Yeah.
not your thank God it's Friday TGIF father. He's not a Carl Winslow.
Mhm.
He's
No, no Carl
very
Winslow for
he's not
sure.
a Carl Winslow. But we do have somewhat relationship. It's not perfect. I can say that we don't really maybe know each other that well, but it is a relationship and I'm okay with where it's at. And so forgiving him for his actions, forgiving him for his absence in my life, and asking something from him that he wasn't able to give, that kind of like clean the slate and help me move forward with the relationship.
Okay, thank you. So not the stereo. He's not the Carl Winslow dad, huh?
No. And that's
Did you
cool.
ever
That's
used
who
to?
he is. And I accept him for who he is. Like that's who you are.
Yeah. Shout out to Carl Winslow's dad though. Did you always look at him and be like, man, I wish type thing? I know I'm not gonna lie, I did. I'll be looking at Carl Winslow. I'm like, man, I want where but he's not. Yeah, our dad is not that.
Yeah, I mean, well, he did put his foot down. I don't know, like which TV dad would I want? That's a good question. Maybe we'll
That's a good
talk
question,
about
right?
that.
Yeah, I'm all in. Carl Winslow's mine, man. All right.
No, it might have to be Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil.
But he's an uncle though. Oh, you okay.
Uncle Phil. Uncle
Uncle
Phil was a
Phil's
good
cool. He's cool. All right. For me, the hardest I would say, or I would go with myself. That was the big hurdle that I had to overcome, was allow myself to forgive me. Meaning, I had
dad.
allowed that pain to grow with me. So from a kid, any classroom time, if I saw another kid with a dad, right, at a football game, I'm lighting them up. Sorry if I ever was one
Wow.
of the ones who I hit you and it hurt. It's because I saw your dad at the game. I didn't have mine, so I'm lighting you up. So I carried that anger.
Um,
That anger gave me a career, though. That anger would kick in when I'm tired. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna be better than him. I'm gonna be better than this. And it would kick in. But it's a lie. It's faulty. So it got to a place where that anger is no good because now I'm destroying everything around me. So now
Mm-hmm.
I'm destructive. I'm a destructive dad now. I was there for my kids, but at what cost? I'm not a good parent to be around. I'm not a good husband to be around. I'm not a good brother to be around because of this anger had grown with me, and I allowed it. So I had to forgive myself first. No, actually, it didn't come until I forgave him.
Mm-hmm.
It, that anger, I remember being at church. I'm pounding on the ground, beating the floor, hitting it, and just crying. Tears were coming out. I'm saying, "Oh, thank you, Jesus," but it looks angry. So sometimes we always got to watch that in church too. You see people speaking in tongues and doing all that. It's sometimes that could be a wrong spirit that's getting out. So
Mm-hmm.
I had this anger getting out, even though I'm at the altar and it was a good message and it was feel good. I'm letting out anger. And when the
Yeah.
men realized it, all the men came around me. They put their hands on me. They all gave me a hug. And man, it sealed it to where it was gone. Then I realized that it was still a little bit left, and it was me. I had to forgive myself. All the stuff I did in the name of, I don't got a father. How long do I allow that, to go? So I was doing all these things in the name of not having a father. I'm going to hit you as hard as I can in football because I don't have a father. I'm going to, nobody was showing me anything, so I'm not going to show you anything because I never had a father. Those are all actions that I did. So I have to
Mm-hmm.
also forgive myself for all those bad actions, learn and grow from it. So that was the key for me.
Question. Did you ever have like maybe you wouldn't see it as animosity, but towards like your siblings? Did you ever see your siblings like, oh, at least they were around him or they had some
Mm.
relationship with him, whether it was good or bad?
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. I always felt like I'm alone because I grew up only child until about 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I always grew up not with no animosity towards my siblings, more so of just knowing that they were more out there. That I was like, man, I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. And then once I started, because I didn't meet anybody until I was 8. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know about you. I didn't know about no one until 8 or 9.
And
And that
we
was my
didn't
first.
connect until our 20s. Like it was like on Facebook.
What's that?
I said we didn't connect until like our 20s, like, and it was
Yeah,
like on
yes,
Facebook.
yeah. Me and you didn't connect till 20, but I didn't know about anyone. I think I heard about you once the second time I went. It wasn't even, I didn't even hear about you the first time. It was maybe I wasn't aware. I'll put it that
Yeah.
way. And then once I visited again for the summer, I was 12, 13. Then I had heard about you. So I never
Hmm.
had any animosity. I was just always more so like, I know I'm not alone. I can feel it. And no pictures, nothing. So about 8.
Oh.
So it doesn't have, I don't have any animosity. I want to know if I want to get into it though. I will say this. All right. I do feel maybe there's animosity towards me for not knowing of him
Mm-hmm.
and kind of being spared of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Some of the ways I talk because I didn't know I don't know anything. And I could tell that yes, I do, may rub some of my other brothers and sisters the wrong way. And maybe there's a way because I'd never had to go through time with him. But
Yeah. Uncle Keith told me because I mean, yeah, I was around, but I wasn't around. Like my mom was very protective of me in that space. And
mhm,
but I do have memories though, with our family. And I remember Uncle Keith told me, and I never thought of it this way. Maybe it was internal. I felt like I look at, Keith and with our cousins. I'm like, I wish I was there more and had more relationship with them.
mhm,
Um, and he was like, Uncle Keith just like said it out of the blue one time I was visiting, and he said, you sometimes he goes, I know you may feel that you're not that close to us. And I've never said that to them. I've never expressed that. He's like, but
yeah,
sometimes maybe it's for the best.
yeah,
And then that kind of gave me a different perspective, you know. But we have such a huge family,
yeah.
and it's beautiful, and I love it. And I just wish that a part of me wished that I was closer, but we can't go back. Things happen for a reason, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because Uncle Keith told me the same thing. But I will say that I genuinely believe them though. I believe that they were, it's a big part too in the family. It's very,
Yeah.
very big, very close. And so, yeah, where I was at, I just knew I was different. I knew I There was others, I always just knew it. Crazy the amount of other brothers and sisters I had. Very crazy because it started out I knew about Keith Ann. Then I would learn, Fat and Darden. And then I thought that was it. Then they'd be like, no, you got an older sister. I'm mad now because I was number one for a while. For a long time, I was number one. And then it was like, nope, you're not number one because Suela's number one. All right, cool. Number two. Who was number two? Then out of nowhere, what is it? 4 years ago, right? Or was it when we
Yeah.
found out about Randall?
I always knew about Randall, but I never knew where Randall fell into
The
place. Like
ranking?
I didn't know if I was older, if he was older, but I never knew. Like I just found out like a few years ago that he was actually the older sibling.
See, that's number one and number two problems. It's not even a beef. It's like, yeah, I know I'm up here, but now when you go to number three, it's like ah. So it was always like that. And then so I can see that with Uncle Keith. I remember him saying the same thing, pulling us aside,
Mhm.
pulling me aside and talking to me. And it's a beautiful family. Even our Native American heritage, going
Mhm.
to the family reunions where it's like pulling up and everybody's hair is different, their language is different. I'm like, what is this? And that's
I've never
they're your
been to a family
family.
reunion. I've never been to a family
You know?
reunion.
I went to one and it was, I'm seeing a whole bunch of dudes with slick back hair and talking in the language I don't know. And I'm like, well, first off, where's mine at? And
Yeah,
so
I've
yes,
never been to a family reunion. So things like that I miss. Like I missed my grandma's funeral. I'm like, why didn't no one call me? Like, why didn't you call me and say, hey, grandma passed away? I would have took the next flight to be there, you know? So it's like
yeah.
little things like that. But Uncle Keith has always been a staple in my life. I mean, I have a picture of him and I when I was a baby, and I
Hmm.
hold on to that 'cause I don't have pictures with, that side of the family. Only, maybe there's more out there, but he sent me this picture of him and I when I was like probably like 6 months old, 7 months old. But he's always been a staple. I say that our grandparents always found a way to come around to make sure like I was okay, my mom was okay. Um, and just make sure like when I was there with them, like you're loved. My grandma was saying like, I love you, you're loved, and so even though it was sporadic and there was times where it was more consistent, my visiting, me visiting, but it's always you felt like that absence. Like you knew like, they're closer to these cousins because they're with them all the time, So it's always I felt like a little
Yeah.
bit of absence, but Uncle Keith always had a way of just calling it out and not sugarcoating it, but let us know that we're loved.
Yeah, shout out to Uncle Keith. He was a bridge. Yeah, he's definitely a bridge. Uncle Keith was a bridge. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my way into the fam. Was Uncle Keith. All
Yeah.
right, tell me about a time where you forgave, but it was too soon, and you
Oh,
realized like oh no, I messed up. So tell me about a time you forgave, but it was too soon.
oh, that's a good question. I forgave, but it was too soon. I don't know if I could put that in the same sentence. Like if I forgive, I forgive.
Okay,
And I'm going
you're
to move
slowing down.
forward. I'm not going to say it's too soon. Maybe it's the access I give you in my life that was like,
Hmm.
okay, that was too soon. But usually, like I'm a type of, like I said, I'm kind of like outside out of mind. If I forgive you, I forgive you. I'm going to move forward. But it's how I move forward with you. So maybe there was a time where I forgave and I kind of gave someone access back into my life more quickly than maybe I should have and should have kind of kept the, some of a healthy distance. But I can't pinpoint a time. What about you?
Um, I do have to watch out for the tendency to be petty. You might be honest, so I can forgive,
Oh, you're
and
a
I
Leo.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I could forgive and then slowly just poke away at you about, well, you did this and you did
Hmm.
that. So it's like I don't forget. So I can forgive and not forget, and then I can get upset because I didn't forget. And then, I forgot that I will forget that I forgave you. That makes sense. So I could be a mess in that aspect. So I will say that is something that I'm always watching.
Yeah.
I am learning to be a better I forgive you and move on person.
Hmm.
So I can be better at that. So I think that's just something that his I need to learn. Yeah. So that's how I feel about that time. It's something that I'm always watching because I'm going to be honest. I'll bring up things, and also because of the way I think. I think I speak. I think and I talk sometimes. I understand, and sometimes I haven't processed everything. So I could just
Mm.
even thinking out loud, and it comes to my mind, and I'm bringing up old wounds again. So that's something that I always
Yeah.
have to watch.
Yeah, I always try not to nail people to the cross. Like if I forgave you, like I'm not gonna try to bring up your past transgressions. Like I wouldn't want someone to keep on saying, but you did this, but you did that. And it's like, but I thought you forgave me, but you're still keeping tally, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I usually like if I forgive you, I forgive you. But it's like maybe the acts I gave to you to me, it was too soon.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the access, it was too soon. Let me what about a time where you didn't bring it up? Like you kept silent on a matter or an issue.
Oh,
So
wow.
you didn't forgiveness is not on the table or anything. You just kept it to yourself. The hanger, whatever hurt it was to yourself.
Mhm. That is something I'm still dealing with, and it has to do with I say my dad, is my stepdad, but he's been in my life, since I was what, 2 years old, 3 years old, and my mom got married when I was five. Some of his actions, I don't want to speak too, much on that, but some of his actions towards my sisters, towards us, the way he talks to us, things that I saw at a young age, but didn't know how to process it, but knew like that's fucked up. Um, and still to this day, there's things. And I don't think I have fully forgiven him because shit just keeps on happening, right? And so it's like, how can I move forward? I mean, you're still keep on doing the same shit, or same things to my mom,
Mhm.
or not being your best self, or using excuses, right? So that's something that it's a continuing process. I know it's something I need to let go of, but I just don't know.
Don't
I
know
don't know
how.
that answered your question. Did I go on a tangent?
A little bit, but it's all good. Yeah,
Yeah.
because just wanting to know, yeah, how it affected you as far as not
Mhm.
holding it in. So you're aware of
So
it.
I
If
don't
I'm
say anything. Like I haven't said anything. Or like things like from my child, I haven't really said anything, because it's like, what's the point of bringing it up? That's the past, right?
And how do you
Uh,
feel that impacts you in a way? So keeping it in, how do you feel that? What are some signs, some symptoms that
oh,
you
there's
see in the area?
animosity for sure. Like I'm looking at you sideways. I'm around you, or I'm just picking you apart. Like you're fake. You're fake.
Yeah, okay. So
you know, So I'm looking at you sideways. And if you know me, like I'm an
yeah.
introvert extrovert. I'm a Leo, but I'm an introvert extrovert. So if I'm kind of quiet around you, I'm filling you out, or I just don't fuck with you. And so a part of it's a guard, it's a wall. And
Yeah.
um, is that healthy? Maybe not. Has it affected our relationship? Yes. Um, yeah, it's just a guard. I'm just very guarded around him. Um, and also very guarded around my mom too. Like I feel like the relationship is not where it could have been or should be.
Mm. That's a big one. And
Hmm.
the relationship with your mom. So I already got notes down. So when we do another part of this, I got some
Hmm.
really good questions because I'm already seeing, God is showing me the avenue to go. That's a good point as far as with our other parents, right? How did it affect the other
Yeah.
parents? But we're gonna
Yeah.
get into. I want to save that one. For
Hmm.
me, holding it in. All right, so I'm introverted as well, but same way, our dad's blood is very, very strong, very, very strong. So there is a turn up mode in me as well too. So I may be quiet, but there is like a extrovert little bag I go into, and that side of me, once you hurt me, you're gonna know about it. So have I ever
Yeah.
held anything in? I think anybody who knows me, absolutely not. If you hurt me,
That's good.
it's gonna be, yeah. I don't really hold on to it very well, like very long.
That's good.
I'm gonna either cry
Mhm.
about it, raise hell about it, or whatever it is, but I don't play that. And
Mhm.
I encourage people to be the same way. Now, I know I can't force people to be a certain way, but if I ever do anything wrong, come to me. I would tell my stepchildren, I know that I ain't perfect. So you can yell at me, just don't, we ain't gonna be sitting here trying to fight or nothing. But if you need to express because I can take it. And I know I give it, I can take it. So I don't really hold anything in. I've always been quick to be like, hey, you hurt me here. My issue is that other people aren't willing to go there, and that drives me crazy. I hate it.
Mhm.
It's because it's like I'm ready. I hear, hey, you bothered me in this area. I didn't like how you spoke to me about X, Y, and Z. I don't. I hate when that I'm coming real. I hate to be dismissed. I hate to be put aside, and so that part drives me a little nuts. So that's where I would say that actually opening up a lot is a hindrance because not everybody's, as y'all know on the group chat, Everybody ain't willing to talk about certain things at a certain time just because I'm ready. And that's where I get in trouble at. That's where I get affected at. So you gotta like really I grew up alone. Like I did as far as,
Mhm.
from the 8 years or so. So it was just me. It was just
Mhm.
me, my actions and playing imaginary toys, all that stuff. It was just me. So I don't really pick up on the room temperatures that well. You
Mhm.
just drop me in there, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's good that you are able to express that. I mean, I'm learning that like at this big age of 40 to say, hey, this bothered me. Instead of like sitting on it and just letting it, just letting it be or letting it slide. Um,
Mm,
I think maybe that has something to do with your upbringing. Your mom, like she gave you that space, or let me know if I'm wrong, gave you that space where you can express your feelings, express when you felt hurt, sad, mad. Like I remember my first time in therapy because I was a COVID nurse and I thought I went to therapy for COVID, like all the shit that I that I saw and
yeah.
I had to process and deal with. And there was definitely some anxiety that I never dealt with before. And I remember it came out to be like it was more than that, right? And if you've all been to therapy, like they'll unpack some stuff. You're like, wait, what? Like you're trying to read
Yeah.
me? And she said something like, "What is your? Tell me how you feel, or what are your feelings?" Like, and I couldn't express like an emotion.
hmm
And and I remember she's like, "Why don't you have words for it?" Like, she's like, "That's not an emotion. That's this, that's that." And I'm like, "It is an emotion." She's like, "No, that's not." And she goes, "Why don't you have words for that?" And I said, "Because I was never allowed to feel. I was never allowed to express that." And for you to say that you can very comfortably say, I feel like this, I feel like that, you hurt me. I feel like that has something to do with your upbringing where you were allowed and you had that space to express yourself comfortably. Where I grew
hmm
up, it was like kids are to be seen, not hurt. Like, fuck your feelings.
Yeah.
And
That's
fuck
that's
feelings.
the do as I say, not as I do generation. That's a big
Yeah.
thing. I don't like that method. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm just saying like that has something to do with I feel like how your mother raised you, where she gave you that space where you were able to, say how you feel and express yourself. That's beautiful.
a lot of it came from I, I will say just years of therapy, all that. But really, it's just I didn't have that space to be honest.
Okay.
I came from the same. It was the same thing. Do as I say. Go over
Uh-huh.
there. Don't say anything. Go to your room type thing. It just came from fighting out of that. That's again where
Mm,
that anger was like, I'm gonna be heard. I was shut down today. Like, don't get it's like I'm gonna be heard because
yeah.
I had felt some of that was the anger that was fueling me through it. Now, once through counseling and therapy, anger management, of course, because I'm angry and I'm fighting through it a couple times, I realized that again, you can't use that. I don't like to dip into that zone of energy. However, the expression is good. It's not
Mhm.
good to hold it in. So it was really through the anger that was causing me to fight through those systems of being over go over there and be quiet. Okay, I'm gonna go over there, but I'm about to bring you to here then, and I would just turn up. And then somebody would come along the way and they would always talk calmly to me. And they would, young man, or whether it be a counselor or a teacher or a therapist, and once they calm me down, they would listen. And after that listening, I would feel good. And then I was able to learn and grow because they're giving feedback. There's just so much involved when we express. It should be a conversation. So if I express a hurt, the way communication work is you're listening. And then if you're listening, you're processing what I'm saying and you'll take it in and then you'll come back. And I have to be quiet now. Sometimes
Mhm.
everyone's just raw and rah and yelling at each other and nothing's getting heard, nothing's getting received, nothing's getting done. So I found myself just being very calm with good conversation, good communication. That's what I love and I value more than anything. Any relationship needs it. So as a kid, I didn't have that space, but my anger is what like pushed through that. And at the end of it, I realized that it's not good to go to bed. I never like to go to bed with any resentment. I always like to
Yeah.
try to make peace in some way. Now, if it's just me by myself and God making peace, I'm cool with that. So that means if somebody else we got issues, I'm not gonna hang my hat on it. Now it hurts, yes, but I'm gonna give it to somebody. I'm not gonna go to bed holding this. It's not for me to hold. So
Mm.
All right, sis. We're on question number 4. So again, thank you. Thank you for your time
Mhm.
and
You're welcome.
your being open doing this. And I can't wait to get Steve on here. So this question is describe a time. Hold on, let me get it pulled up. My bad. Let me get it pulled back up. Let's see, number 4. All right. So how did you feel like this shaped you in the aspect of love? Do you feel like you were molded differently with love because of this the any of unforgiveness you've had in your life? And
Was
then
molded
describe how
differently.
forgiveness has helped you in the area of love.
Ooh, was I molded differently? Ooh, um, love should not be conditional. And I think sometimes, especially someone that is very close to us, whether it's a spouse, a family member, a sister, a brother, a parent, um, if they hurt us, it hits different, right? It hits different where opposed to someone that, we don't know from Adam, or like a coworker. It just hits different. So as far as love, um, it's trying to love without condition.
Mm,
And that goes along with forgiveness, like trying to forgive, move forward. How can we be our best selves? But not have conditions on our love. Um, I don't know if that answered your question.
yeah, in a sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So for me, unfor oh man, let's see. I will say that with love too. It's the forgiveness is a tool, it's a part of the package, it's something that needs to be used, especially on those you love.
Mhm.
That's what I try to remind myself. It has to, it has to be used on those you love. Sometimes when you say you love somebody or you're with them and then they do something, it's like I remember asking God, do I love this person unconditionally? And it gets real dangerous when you do that, especially the person I did it with. It was like once I said that I asked God if I loved them unconditionally, then it was like the whole world tested it. So do you really love them unconditionally? And a whole bunch of conditions got dropped in, and I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, I'm starting to look like I don't it look real shaky.
Yeah.
Sometimes because it's the people you love, like the blow hurts. It hits really bad, and it's you have to really ask yourself, do I really love this person unconditionally? I will say that forgiveness, the way it molded my aspect on love differently has been this. It slows me down because of that. Like I had to learn that there are 7 different types of love. Then you got your friendship love. You have a love of a person, a spouse, like that is unconditional, that is locked in. You have love where it's like I really like this person. It's more of a feeling, a passion, intimacy,
Mhm.
physical. That there's that type of love. Then there's love as a friend. So some people, and so what the forgiveness did is after I forgave an act, now we got to evaluate where you're at. We have to evaluate where we fall at on love. So I would say that any situation that happened in my life caused me to study love. And then with those, now I have a different bucket that I could put people in. So after I forgive you, now I like what you said, you can remove them people and put them in proper place in your life. It's the same
Mhm.
way with love. I can still love you, but now we're going to figure out where you fall in this category. And forgiveness allowed that. Now there are people that I too need to forgive, and I don't see it right now. I don't see it. I know it needs to be there, and I don't see it. And so I would say that once you're on that side of things with me, it's very hard to come back over, and that's where I need to grow. Because yeah, once you're off the when you're on the block list or whatever it is, like it's bad. Like I really don't want to mess with you because I feel like I'll be trying everything to notify and rectify the situation and to come to an end or a good side, and sometimes it doesn't happen in the timing. And so yeah, there is that area where I've blocked off people,
Mhm.
and so forgiveness is affected me that way. To where I do have that side of where some people don't. I just don't really want to mess with them at all. And I'll say that forgiveness and unforgiveness does bother me there, and that when it comes to love. So
But you can forgive someone and don't let them have access to you. Like, and especially if it's, continuous, you know what they bring, right?
Yeah.
um, you know what they're about. And it's like, again, you're being wise, you're being open. But it's like, I can forgive you, but I don't want to mess with you that way. I don't want you to have access to my life that way.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, sis. That's where the whole big heart, the little lover's heart comes into play. I'm just like, oh, I really wish I wanted to work out, and I'll even try the seven different loves, and it's like, nope, can't put you there, can't put you there, can't. So I'm holding out room. Maybe there's a whole nother aspect of love that's there, so that way I can find for this person. Because again, I don't, I hate resistance, and,
Hmm.
and I hate resentment more than I hate unforgiveness. If that makes sense. Like
No,
the
it
my
doesn't.
my hate for resentment is pretty extreme because I just feel like it's bad. Because
Yeah.
so I rather, but I also can't just forgive unwillingly because I also know I'm petty and I will just keep bringing it up. So I want to have
And
true
then, like,
forgiveness.
if you're really gonna be that way, it's like I gotta leave you alone. Like, if I'm keep on
Yeah,
bringing it up, I'm keep on nailing you to the cross. I gotta leave you alone. And and also it takes a while. Sometimes, like, we get so caught up in like relationships, whether it's like friendships, but I think what helped recenters me is that people are not everyone's supposed to walk the journey of life with you to a certain
yeah,
extent, right? People come into your life for a season, a reason, and a lifetime. Not everybody's gonna be on that lifetime journey with you.
yeah, absolutely. All right. So we're on our last question. This is going to be a good one.
All right.
So let me make sure I want to word it the exact same way I have it. I want to word it that way. All right. So if Jesus were, hold on, let me get back to you. Let me get to where I can see your face.
Okay.
All right. So if Jesus were to walk into the room right now, who would he tell you to stop carrying? Yeah. Who would he tell you to stop carrying around?
Who or
Yeah.
what?
Who would he?
Stop.
Let me make sure I got it right because that was a good one. Yeah. Who would he tell you to stop carrying? I like what you said with the what. I'll give you what too. Let's do who and what. Who would Jesus tell you to stop carrying, and what would he tell you to stop carrying?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna put it back on you. You go first.
Oh, all right. Whew. Okay. All right. The what would be, and what? I mean, I really be feeling light though. Like I really do. I don't really wake up too bad. I don't really. Maybe fear would be the what on some. I mean,
Mhm.
no, that's cliche because I don't really. Man, what would he tell me? All right, I would say shame. He would tell me
Oh.
probably that'd be a what would be some shame because I'm not perfect. I am being worked on. We all are fall short of the glory, and it be in the moments where you commit sin or whatever, and it's like it hurts. And I don't want to mislead anybody or misguide anybody because this walk is a relationship. My relationship is going to be different. And so I'm confident in my relationship with God, but I also don't want somebody to see me, hear me, be around me or whatever. And I'm doing what I can do and what I can handle, but it messed them up. You know,
Mm.
I also never want to get back to where I was, which was trying to be perfect for everybody. Like that's not gonna happen. And if anybody watches it, like I'm done with that. You missed me on that. I'm not gonna sit here and try to do it because of some broad perspective of what religion is. I have a relationship with God, and me and Him are cool. So sometimes I do get shamed though that I don't want any. Like I feel bad. Like something may not bother me, but it can bother somebody else by trying to do it, but it ain't. They can't do it. So that part. I would
Mm.
say he would tell me to stop carrying. It would probably be my relationship with my family. I've been told like one time that I was like kind of spiritually, I would do too much spiritually for those around me at the time. Like something goes on, I'm praying, I'm in the books, I'm applying all these different things. I'm covering the gap, but I wasn't allowing other people to go through what God was trying to do to them. By doing that, by covering them in that aspect. I am supposed to cover my family, but I was doing a little bit too much, and I took that in, and I believe that I could see that there are battles that I can't, with my ex wife, I cannot fight those battles for her. She has to. It's for her, and unfortunately, it's gone down to my kids, but I can't do it. And as much as listen to our childhood. There's nobody more wanting to be a father than me. Like that was my one thing is I want to be there for my kids. I want to be there for my kids. However, God has something in store, and He's having them, like you said, go through a season. No matter how much I want to, I cannot be there in the aspect that I want to be there. And so I still carry that with me. I carry them with me every day, but I had to learn to let them go. I think that's who Jesus would tell me to give up because I'm not meant to carry them. I can only carry my cross. And
Wow,
a part of that carrying of the cross is letting him do what he needs to do in their life.
that's deep. And I think I can speak to the same aspect of that. Mine is control. I am a
In a
huge,
nutshell.
I am a
In a
control
nutshell.
freak. I think you kind of like seen it a little bit.
Yeah.
Being the oldest daughter, being a Leo, I'm very type A. I'm a nurse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a really big control freak and anxiety. I didn't think it was anxiety until my therapist was like, you try to control every situation and that's anxiety. And I'm like, no, it's like being prepared. Like I don't understand. Like
Yeah.
I keep arguing with her, like, no, I don't understand what you're saying. Like that's not anxiety. She's like, yeah, it is. You try to control every aspect so you can control the outcome.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm learning to give up control and to like let God because I have to realize like our path is already written. Um, and not to force anything, but to be open and receptive, right? And so mine's control, that's my what. And my who is definitely what you said is family. Again, it comes with control, like trying to control. With my older kids, I'm in a new stage in my life now. I'm parenting older adults. I know young adults. My son is 21, my daughter just turned 18, and trying to not try to control, but I guess you see what you want for them and you've walked your path and you try to prevent them from making mistakes. Same with
Yeah.
my husband as he goes into this new career of his. I'm like, oh, but maybe you should do it this way. And it's like, that's his lane. Like you
Yeah.
have your lane, this is his lane. Like let him, like you said, like he has to make the mistakes or he has to not even just mistakes, but he has to learn his way, right?
Yeah.
And all I can do is be supportive and be that person that they can come to. And I feel like now, like I said with my kids, like we're in the consulting phase of parenting where I can't tell them what to do. I could try, but it's their lives. And so like trying to like give up the control that I have to try to like control the outcomes. But also like let everyone go through, learn like from their mistakes, learn through life. Life is the greatest teacher. And I have to learn that. So I have to let others learn that as well. So yeah, it's family and control. That's my what.
Okay. Control, control. Yeah. In a nutshell, that's what it is. Like trying to like, yeah. Someone told me that the same person who told me as far as what I was doing, covering spiritually, was also try to hold back God's way, whether it be punishment, whether it be blessings, whatever it is. When
Mhm.
we're in that gap, you're basically like we're trying to feel that, like cover them from
Yeah.
whatever it may be. It can't do it. It's got to come. So sis, that was the last question that we have, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I definitely want to reconvene with it, and ideally, we want all of our brothers and sisters to be on here. That's the goal. We want to
Hmm.
do like open talk therapy. So we got some work to do. We got some work to do, but if they're watching, hopefully they'll see this and see that it's not that bad. It's gonna be all right. And
No, it's thought provoking.
yeah, thought provoking is definitely the goal, and it's a good thing because don't want to go to bed with those thoughts just in the dark and no telling how they growing in the dark.
Yeah.
It's never good. So let's bring them to light. Let's see if it needs to be thrown away or it needs to be watered, nurtured. It's been locked away, and it's like actually a beautiful thing. Like bring it to the light. So we don't know until we try. So
Yeah. And
I
hopefully
know
we can do this in person
that too.
one day.
We got some things coming up. So yeah.
Hmm.
But I want to thank you and have a great rest of your day, sis.
You
I love
too.
you, and I'll
Love you
talk to you
too.
later. All right?
All right. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Bye, you too.
Bye.